Greetings, my champions. Once again, welcome to the show. William Ruto throws Mnangagwa under the bus, attacks Russia over Ukraine. You remember in the last days, a few days ago, we were talking we were talking about Yana Sekuru Gudo, Nana Sekuru Tsuru, Nana Mzukuru Tsuru, and I was saying Wakangwara Havana Namo. You still remember Ruto when he came to Zimbabwe, how Mnangagwa paraded him before the people of Zimbabwe and calling him the best of the brother and the friend and the like, and all things like that. And Mnangagwa thought that he was recruiting William Ruto to his side so that he can have at least some people that are African leaders that are supporting him. Remember, Mnangagwa does understand that he's becoming isolated more and more and more, especially after the stolen elections. So what he's facing now is a bad situation. And remember last time what he did when Ruto came, he gave Ruto $1 million. You still remember that briefcase we showed you? We did a show on that one, and I was showing you that this is what Ruto is carried out of Zimbabwe and is gone. And Mnangagwa was thinking that he's buying the favor from Ruto. He was thinking that he's buying friendship from Ruto. He was thinking that he's going to make Ruto his own puppet, and then Ruto can be singing from the hymn book of ZANU-PF and Emmerson Mnangagwa. But it seems like it did not work because Ruto was more clever than what Mnangagwa probably was thinking, that he could pocket him and make him his own puppet. So Ruto has maintained his side, he has maintained his friends, he has chosen the side that he's always wanted to belong. And that is the sign which leaves Mnangagwa with an egg on the face. I just want to show you the tweet that was written by Ruto, and just imagine this is the person who came from Zimbabwe, and Mnangagwa calling him the best brother, one of my best brothers around, and we are one, and the Kenyan people and Zimbabwean people are one. You remember Mnangagwa was even saying there are people that are even, you were saying Kenya was one of the very first nations that have also recognized Shona as their own language because there are Shona speaking people there. And he tried all the propaganda. He tried, to sugarcoat pills and to try and win the heart of William Ruto to his side so that at least he can have some other allies. But unfortunately, it didn't work. And of course, even if it were me, William Ruto, I wouldn't be moved. I wouldn't change my position because of one trip that I've made to Harare. And because Mnangagwa has given me some kind of a reward or some gift or something like that. No ways. He has to know what is good for him, what is good for his country, and he stands for what is right. So William Ruto on his tweet has written, Russia's aggression against Ukraine is unlawful, unjust, and a violation of the fundamental principles of international law. As we embark on the collective effort to resolve the conflict in Ukraine and throughout the world, it is time for parties to the war to demonstrate good faith, abandon intransigent attitude, and soften their positions for lasting peace to be realized. Joined other world leaders for the summit on peace in Ukraine, Begerstock, Switzerland. So there is Ruto there in Switzerland with his friends, not the friends that Mnangagwa wants to choose for him, his friends that he has chosen for himself. So there he is there with in that summit in Switzerland, and we see him also. I'm trying to locate him. There he is there. And there are quite a few black people that are there. I think I can count them. There's 1, 2, 3, and maybe 4, 5. I can see the Ghanaian president also is there. Can you see him? Yes, he is also part of the delegation that is there. So the Russian puppet, Emmerson Mnangagwa, is left with an egg on the face. And I'm sure the statements of Ruto are making Mnangagwa boil and even think about his gift, his briefcase that Ruto carried out of Zimbabwe, flying back to his own country. Vakangwara havana nhamo ndonya yana mzukuru tsuru nasekuru guda taitaura that day kuti vakangwara zvavo, they will just squander the money, they will just take the money and eat it and flush the discussions down the toilet, because you need to stand for what you believe. You cannot be dictated to by ZANU-PF or Emmerson Mnangagwa. So Ruto is correct to stand his ground. Ruto knows what he has to do. He knows the thing that will help his country. He knows the relationships that are good for Kenyans and Kenya. And Zimbabwe cannot dictate that. Mnangagwa cannot dictate that. Nick Mangwana, and the George Charambas and the like, no matter how much they would speak about the friendship between Kenya and Zimbabwe, Ruto and Mnangagwa, and sugarcoat them and try by all means to say propagandize the situation like they did, it still did not work. And you still remember, even Wycliffe Chivayo was brought, introduced to Ruto for reasons best known to Mnangagwa. Probably they were even planning that Wycliffe should open a company maybe in Kenya, and then Ruto could also join and also be a shareholder there, and they will just bring in the money. Yeah, you never know, because each time you see Wycliffe Chivayo appearing, just know that corruption is started. When you see the two of them with Mnangagwa talking under some tree, there is nothing else that they could be talking about except some corrupt deal, something to do with cheating somebody, cheating government, cheating ministries, cheating Zimbabweans, or something like that. So this is the scenario on the ground. So I say myself, I would say kudos to Ruto. Let Ruto maintain his ground. Let Ruto choose the right friends for him, for Kenyans. What he knows is best for his country, not to have people of a brotherhood that wants to force other people to enter into agreements. This is the same problem that we are seeing in SADC, where we have some other smaller countries that have been bulldozed by people like Cyril Ramaphosa and the ANC because of their South African nation that is a powerful nation. They've started to bulldoze others, elbow other small nations, and not give them enough opportunity to voice out what they thought about what happened in Zimbabwe. And up to now, we still have the SADC report still standing with nothing, no action that has been done up to now. And this is why we are saying as Zimbabwean people, we really need to rise up and to cause something to happen, to cause SADC to move, to cause Emmerson Mnangagwa to have fire in his boots, to make sure that during that summit, if at all it happens, we will be there to make sure that we put enough pressure, we make sure that we signal to the whole world and even the leaders of SADC that Zimbabweans are not happy with the status quo of our country. Mnangagwa is not our president. He may be ZANU-PF president, but he's not Zimbabwe's president. He may be the leader, the first secretary of ZANU-PF, but he's not the first secretary of Zimbabwe. We want new leaders. We want our country to begin to work once again. So this is the scenario that is on the ground, family, and we are very, very excited. My sister Fadza says, Chatufa family, Takashi Batakuti G is out of the country. Yeah, I heard that is out of the country. I will try also to follow up and find out what has happened, where he is, and things like that, to find out the truth that is on the ground. We will give you updates if we get the correct information. Chatufa Chete, we are cruising to the news. That one, we are closer and closer every day. I'm telling you, my sister, we are not joking. Zimbabwe is free. Zimbabwe is coming. And we are going to be very soon talking about what we have experienced as history, and everything will be gone. And Mnangagwa and all those that are singing praises of him today will be ashamed, and they won't even know where to hide. So I think I have one last show on this platform before we can cross over to the main channel, where we are going to be having the main shows until we have the 7:30 bulletin, which is the main show of the day. So family, I'd really want to appreciate you for being here, for supporting the gospel of the freedom of the Zimbabwean people. Thank you so much for joining me on the show. Remember to subscribe, to like, and to share.